General Hospital spoilers tease that Drew may be staring down one of the messiest danger zones we have seen in a while, and I cannot shake the feeling that this whole situation is about to spiral fast. Right now, the rumor mill is circling around a brutal possibility. Sidwell and Willow may be cornering Drew from both sides, and if that pressure keeps building, Drew could be the one who needs a rescue before this turns into a full-blown nightmare. Here is the big rumor in plain English. Drew has already been in a deeply vulnerable position, and the idea is that Sidwell and Willow may have been keeping him trapped in a self-isolating, self-locking kind of setup. Not a literal prison cell, but a psychological and physical trap that leaves him cut off, exposed, and easier to control. Then things get even messier because Nina reportedly attacks Brennan with a fake stroke-inducing dose, one that Sidwell and Willow supposedly intended for Drew. And on top of that, Brennan ends up showing stroke-like symptoms that seem to mirror what Drew has been dealing with. That is the kind of detail that makes my eyebrows shoot straight up, because once symptoms start overlapping like that, the whole thing stops looking private and starts looking investigative. And that is exactly why this rumor matters. If PCPD starts sniffing around, Sidwell and Willow may not be able to keep the Drew situation buried. In Soap World, once the police enter the chat, secrets usually start sweating. If an investigation opens up, Willow could be forced to move Drew to the hospital for proper care, and that would mean medical eyes on him, police eyes nearby, and a lot fewer opportunities for anyone to keep the truth tucked under the rug. That is the kind of pressure cooker that soaps love, because it creates a chain reaction. One clue leads to another, one witness gets nervous, and suddenly, the entire plan starts fraying at the seams. Now, if I am reading the rumor the way it is being framed, Sidwell and Willow may start thinking the only way to permanently silence the situation is to finish what they began. That is the darkest version of this story. And I want to be careful here because this is speculation, not something that has been locked in by the show. But the idea is that they could attempt to poison Drew with a final lethal dose. Again, that is one possible rumor path, not a fact, but it fits the kind of escalating soap stakes that General Hospital often builds when characters feel trapped and desperate. What makes this especially interesting is that the story may not actually be about whether Drew is targeted. It may be about whether someone gets to him in time. And that is where Jason comes crashing into the picture like a thunderclap in a quiet room. One version of this rumor says Jason secretly escapes from prison and shows up at Drew's place after somehow learning that Drew is in danger. That part may sound wild, but soaps live for these "how did he get here" moments. If Jason realizes Drew is being cornered, I can absolutely see him charging in, taking on Sidwell and Willow, and forcing the situation into chaos. That would give the story a very classic General Hospital rhythm: a rescue, a confrontation, a rushed cover-up, and a new mystery emerging from the ashes. From there, the rumor suggests Jason could move Drew to a hidden warehouse or another secret location, then bring in a nurse or some form of medical care, with Liz floated as the most likely caretaker. That actually makes a lot of narrative sense to me. Liz is one of those characters who can handle emotional intensity while also grounding the situation in care and urgency. If Drew is badly hurt but still alive, her presence adds a human heartbeat to the whole rescue arc. It also creates tension, because she would be stepping into a dangerous web where every decision matters. Another layer that makes this rumor pop is the idea that Jason might make a fake call for medical assistance at Drew's house. That could be used to bring emergency responders to Sidwell and Willow after Jason has already attacked them, but without leaving them in life-threatening condition. That part is important because it shifts Jason from pure vengeance into strategic restraint. He would not be trying to kill them. He would be trying to stop them, create confusion, and buy time. That feels much more in line with a soap rescue arc than a simple revenge beat. Now let's break down the two biggest possibilities here, because this is where the speculation gets juicy. Possibility 1, Jason rescues Drew before Sidwell and Willow can carry out the final dose. In this version, the tension peaks at the exact moment the villains think they have the upper hand. Jason bursts in, Drew survives, and Sidwell and Willow are left scrambling. This would make the rescue feel like a clean, dramatic reset, even though the aftermath would still be messy. The best part of this version is that it creates a direct confrontation between Jason and the people threatening Drew, while also giving Drew a chance to stay in the story instead of being written into tragedy. It also opens the door for police evidence, hospital scrutiny, and a long trail of questions about who did what and when. Possibility 2. Drew is moved into deeper danger before anyone gets to him. This version is uglier, but soaps do love a late arriving rescue. Sidwell and Willow may act first, assuming they still have enough control to finish the job and erase the evidence. Jason could still appear, but maybe too late to stop the attack entirely, only in time to keep Drew alive long enough for treatment. That would raise the stakes dramatically, because the story would become less about stopping the crime and more about surviving it. In that case, Drew's condition could become the center of a hospital storyline, while the investigation around Sidwell and Willow grows far more serious. And honestly, the ripple effects here are huge. For Willow, this kind of storyline would be a pressure test. If she is involved in any of this, even indirectly, it puts her in the middle of an emotional and legal disaster. She could end up facing suspicion, guilt, fear, and the possibility that every move she makes only makes things worse. For Sidwell, this kind of plot would likely deepen his role as a calculating threat, someone who pushes too far and starts losing control of the consequences. For Brennan, his stroke-like symptoms could become the clue that cracks the whole thing open, whether he is a victim, a pawn, or simply a warning sign that the same method was used on more than one person. For Jason, this is exactly the kind of story that turns him back into a blunt force protector. If he knows Drew is in danger, he would not sit still. He would move. Fast. That changes the tone of the storyline because Jason is not just reacting. He becomes the hidden trigger that flips the board. And for Liz, if she is the one helping care for Drew, she would once again be placed in the role of calm in the storm, the person trying to hold together what everyone else is tearing apart. So, to keep it clear, this is still rumor territory. Nothing here should be treated as final unless the show actually puts it on screen. What is happening right now is that the pieces are pointing toward a dangerous escalation, a possible rescue, and a police investigation that could expose far more than Sidwell and Willow want the world to see. The story has the right ingredients for a major soap twist, but right now, it is still speculation, not a verified outcome. And that is why I am watching this one so closely. If Drew really is on the edge of a rescue, then the next move could change everything for Jason, Willow, Sidwell, and the entire circle around them. Do you think Jason shows up in time to save Drew? Or do Sidwell and Willow manage to push this story into an even darker direction first?
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.